It's January 15th, 2025, and I told you wouldn't see me again until we had a little bit more confidence about our next storm, and here we are. I think that we're on the verge of seeing another major winter storm. It's brewing out there, and there's enough information to actually talk about it now. The forecast process begins today. Let's start off by taking a look at the upper level winds, because everything with the weather, it starts up top and it works its way down to the surface. And the closer you get to the surface, the harder it is to pinpoint exactly what's going to happen. It's a smart approach whenever we're a week away from a potential storm to start up top and look at the top layer before we start focusing on the bottom. And the top layer starting today is already interesting. We've still got cold air funneling down from Canada into the east. There's going to be a brief break in that we'll talk about here in a second. But those Santa Ana winds that have been pouring over the Sierras into the valleys of California are going to let up. Watch this. I'm going to push this just a couple days into the future, Thursday into Friday. We're actually going to see a little bit of southerly and southwesterly flow move into California. That's going to put an end to the dangerous offshore flow that we've been seeing, and hopefully we can stop worrying about the fires for a little while in California. So really good news there. Notice this little buckle in the jet stream here, allowing for some warm air to move into the central and eventually eastern portions of the United States. This is going to be a nice relief. It's going to melt a lot of the snow that's on the ground in the south. It's going to set the stage for our next big weather system. Notice this big uptick in our subtropical jet down here, pumping moisture into the southern states. This is going to be a decent little storm for Texas all the way over to the Carolinas in terms of rainfall and just general thunderstorms. But what follows that is our giant trough that we are tracking, or we have been talking about for quite some time. That's going to set the stage for the coldest air we've seen all season for a lot of us, and another major winter storm for parts of the south. Let's take a look at those temperature anomalies. Here's our cold air that we've been dealing with. It's going to kind of skedaddle a little bit as we go into tomorrow. And once again, a lot of us are going to get a break. We're going to see this little spike in temperatures where it's not going to be hot. It's not going to be warm or anything, but it's going to be a little bit warmer than average as this little bit of a ridge travels over the United States. Get ready for that in Chicago all the way down to Houston on Saturday. Get ready in the Ohio Valley from Saturday through Sunday. The East Coast, especially in the Northeast, you guys are going to get a taste of this on Saturday and Sunday as well. It'll feel nice. We're talking about some temperatures about 10 to 15 degrees above normal for most of us. Don't get used to it. It is going to change very quickly as our major Arctic blast is rearing up back here on Saturday, already sending temperatures much below average in Montana, North Dakota, and Minnesota on Saturday. Notice how big of a difference we have in just the short amount of time from Saturday to Sunday, where now we're seeing temperatures likely negative 20 up here in the north for lows, negative 30, negative 40 degree wind chills are going to be possible, and some of those really cold temperatures are going to be moving farther south as well. This will be the coldest air of the season, more than likely, for you guys over here in eastern Colorado. Some of it even might make its way over here into the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. This will rival what we just dealt with in the Ohio Valley. It's too soon to tell whether or not this is going to be colder than that, but still, get ready for some more extreme cold in the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley, especially as we go into Monday and Tuesday of next week, and it's going to stick around. The really cold air is going to kind of compile down here in southern Texas early next week as well. This is definitely going to be the coldest air of the season for you guys in Houston and Austin, and just notice how long this sticks around. We're looking at the ensemble models here. This is not just one run. This is an average. This is crazy. This is one of the strongest signals you'll ever get for long-term cold, so it's going to stay cold. I can promise you that if you're over here on this portion of the country, at least through January 25th. There is a slight signal for an overall warm-up as we go later into January and into early February, which is nice and is interesting. It's a little bit too early to talk about that right now, but I think that there is going to be a pattern flip, at least for the first part of February. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves here, let's talk about the implications of our storm systems that are coming together here as a result of the upper air pattern that we just discussed. First of all, we are going to have a little bit of a clipper coming down through Alberta, across Ontario, into Quebec. This is going to bring lake effect snow and lake enhanced snow across the Great Lakes area. And then that big plume of moisture that I was talking about coming over Mexico is going to link up with that and cause a more widespread storm system from Friday into Saturday. This will likely actually cause some thunderstorms in Louisiana and Mississippi. Nothing severe, but still some thunder, some heavy rain, and some heavier snow is possible up there in Michigan, over towards New York, and of course Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. As we go into Saturday, this will bring some soaking rains into the panhandle of Florida, Georgia, all the way up into the Carolinas as well. There's actually going to be a slight chance of some flash flooding, especially in Georgia, as this is going to be some really heavy rain. But very quickly, the story changes from that storm system to this major outbreak of cold air that's going to be following it. This is the trendsetter for the rest of January, as this is what's going to be causing the negative 20-degree temperatures up north, and it's what's carrying the energy for our next storm system, which is going to be our major winter storm that is brewing right now. Whenever you get this much cold air this close to the Gulf of Mexico, there's always going to be a system that tries to come together, and our next big signal really starts showing up on the ensembles around Monday, January 20th. You can see right here snow near Dallas and Houston, and then things kind of spread out all across the southeastern states, especially as we go towards Tuesday and Wednesday. But look at this. We're talking about snow maybe on Galveston Beach, maybe a mixed precipitation situation in New Orleans, snow all the way down to Mobile, Alabama. This is wild, and this is also wild that this is an average of what could happen. So some of the individual model runs are showing snow plumb out over the Gulf of Mexico in order for this to average out to be this far south. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm confident enough to start talking about this, even though we're 7-8 days out. I can't tell you who's going to see exactly what. I still can't tell you if it's certainly going to snow in New Orleans, but the chance of at least a wintry mix in these southern states is certainly on the table, and we're going to be working out the details as we go forward. As far as snow goes, I think this is definitely going to be a big snowstorm for a lot of our southern people. Right now, the Euro ensembles are showing a 20 to 30% chance of seeing 3 inches of snow on the ground by Thursday, January 23rd for portions of eastern Texas, especially over here in the Carolinas. This looks like a pretty good signal for a snowstorm situation in the Carolinas. I don't know if it'll be upstate. I don't know if it'll be back towards the Appalachian Mountains yet. I don't know if it'll be Myrtle Beach, but the signal is there for something to track over the next 7 to 8 days. The Weather Prediction Center's probability for seeing some sort of winter precipitation is also starting to pop up over here in Texas through Louisiana into Mississippi. The day 6, Monday, January 20th outlook shows a 10 to 30% chance down here, and then watch what happens as we go into Tuesday. That really grows 30 to 50% from Atlanta all the way over into southern portions of South Carolina and North Carolina. So this will change. This will rock back and forth a little bit, but this is a pretty good indication of who's going to be dealing with some sort of wintry precipitation as we go into early next week. It could be sleet, it could be freezing rain, it could be snow, but pretty good chance right in this green area here. And this is all being driven by our really wild, anomalous southern Arctic air mass that's going to be dipping over the country. That once again, the only people who are dodging this are some parts of California, Alaska, and Hawaii. The rest of us are going to be below average between January 20th and January 24th. Some of us are going to be much below average. So get ready for the cold. If anything's certain, it's this. All right, there's going to be a massive Arctic outbreak. There's no changing that. Like the forecast is not going to change much there. What is going to change is how the moisture from the Gulf of Mexico interacts with that cold, and who exactly sees snow and who sees rain and who sees ice. That's something that we're going to be honing in on over the next 7 days as we get closer to the storm. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I think we're going to go back to daily updates here very soon. And if you love snow or weather, or even if you don't, and you just want to support our channel and all of our efforts here with the storm chasers, the video editors, and everything else it takes to put all this together, please consider going over to our website, shopryanhall.com, and getting some stuff. We got some I Heart Snow shirts for sale right now. This is like a Valentine's Day promotion. I Heart WX, 14% off right now. Really good shirts. If you're not so much into the snow, more on the severe weather side, we've got a really unique design here. You complete my polygon. This is also available over there on shopryanhall.com. This is a really good way to support the channel. If you don't want apparel, well, of course, we've got really practical stuff over there on the site. Weather radios. We've got stuff like the Tempest weather station for your backyard, which we really love, and all kinds of other cool stuff, which people are really getting a kick out of. So make sure you go over to shopryanhall.com and add something to the cart and help us out. We are unfortunately sold out of Yalla meters. Those went fast, and we're working on getting more, but plenty of other options over there on shopryanhall.com. Thank you guys for supporting us over there and allowing us to do this without having to run a bunch of commercials. And that's pretty much all the weather talk I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, turn notifications on so you don't miss the next video. I do think that there's a good chance we'll have another one tomorrow, and and the next day and the next day, yada, 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 until we're eventually doing a live stream. This is going to be a big winter storm. There will be some dramatic changes in the path and the expected intensity over the next couple of days as those models start to hone in on what is actually going to happen. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.